Well, howdy folks. I wanted to get a video series started that I've had going on in the back of my mind for quite a while now. I just haven't made myself actually sit down and do it. I want to put together a series of videos of flat picking standards, typically fiddle tunes. I'm going to call it Just the Macaroni. You're probably wondering, what in the world is this guy talking about? I'm here to talk about guitars and flat picking, and he's talking about macaroni. Well, if you've ever been to any potluck dinners, especially if you grow up in the Appalachian Mountains, whatever, you go to big potluck dinners, maybe with your community events, with your church, whatever. Typically there's at least about 6 different kinds of macaroni and cheese or macaroni salad that show up, and they're all somewhat similar, but they're also each one unique, to say the least. They all have one thing in common: macaroni. And that's why I want to call this series of videos Just Macaroni, because sometimes when you're learning these old fiddle tunes, it's very difficult to figure out, well, what am I listening to? What is this actually the melody, or is this someone's improvisation, or is this just the ornamentation they hang on their arrangement? Sometimes it's hard to actually appreciate the variations and the arrangement and the improvisations until you really know what they're a variation of. So over the last 25 years now, I've been going to Bluegrass festivals, old-time string band festivals. I've been playing nonstop, learning tunes, transposing fiddle tunes. And what I started looking for were the simplest arrangements. Started scouring around, buying up old fiddler fake books and beginner books, a lot of times stuff that's way out of print, 20, 30, 40 years old, and learning these melodies from those sources and then putting together the common denominators. In other words, just the macaroni. What do you got to have that particular type of macaroni salad, or have something that's identifiable as macaroni salad? You got to have at least the macaroni. So this series of videos is supposed to do just that. It's for folks that really want to ground their arrangement or their improvisations of these old fiddle tunes, these flat picking standards, if you really want to ground those in the most rudimentary form of the melody. Now, I'm not going to try to say that this is the definitive version of any given melody. I'm just saying that after 20, 25 years of doing this, these are the things that I have learned as the most basic elements or ingredients that need to be there in order for the arrangement to be recognizable. So that tune that I was playing already had a couple little improvisations or embellishments in it, and I'm going to strip that down. The one I opened with was Soldier's Joy. You probably recognized that. Playing it in the key of D, but I'm playing out of a C position on the guitar with the capo at the 2nd fret. I like the way it plays out of the C chord shape a little better than D, so that's why I'm doing that, at least this particular melody. So now, I've also heard this referred to as Payday in the Army a few times. Soldier's Joy, Payday in the Army, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to show you the A section and the B section. I'm going to play them very slowly, and I'm going to strip it down to the most bare minimum so that you can have just the macaroni. I'll start off with the A section here, the first section of the song. All right, so here is the A section the first part of Soldier's Joy played 2 times through. All right, we're moving right on to the B section of Soldier's Joy. So you can play it on the low end, you can play it on the high end. I'm going to start off playing it actually on the high end. I considered playing it on the bass strings out of the C position, a little bit more of a place to do your variation. If you want to play the melody in a way that's very deliberate and that really cuts through the mix, it seems to work really well on the treble end here. So here we go. Slow that down a little bit. Show you the B section of the tune played on the bass strings. I'll try to play almost as close as I can verbatim the melody I played on the treble strings. That wasn't note for note. It's actually really hard for me to play anything the same way twice without a little bit of a variation or something working its way in there. Especially when you slow things down, the cross-picking, the feel and everything gets lost when you slow it down. It starts to sound a little mechanical, but that's basically the simplest form of the melody played on the bass strings. Well, I hope there's been some information in this that you maybe find useful. I'm going to wrap things up now. I'm going to play the A section and the B section through at a fairly slow tempo, and I may throw in a couple examples of just some subtle variations or syncopated things that you might put in there. All right, I hope you'll come back and check out whatever happens to be the next tune on the Just the Macaroni series. Y'all take care.